Yes, there is news on your device, but hearing an analyst's perspective is the icing on the cake that Daybreak Africa provides. Start your day with prompt analysis of the latest news, trends,
exactly, and then you see these people, they're so agile, they can do it.
Politics.
We have to go back to that regional system. That is the foundation of this country, for God's sake.
Entertainment. Fashion. Culinary skills.
So first I'm going to be pouring the oil inside because
religious and cultural events amongst others on Daybreak Africa. For a rich mix of analysis on current issues, tune in daily from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on channel 480 and 124 on Startimes.
Hello everyone, thank you so much for being part of Joy Asonye Live today. As usual, we'll be talking about very important issues, and today we'll be discussing the FCT and President Tinubu's cabinet, the much anticipated cabinet. As Nigerians await with keen interest for President Bola Tinubu to reveal his ministerial nominees, an act that would kickstart the engine of his administration, the indigenous people of the Federal Capital Territory have renewed the agitation to be considered for ministerial appointment, just like other Nigerians who have representations in the Federal Executive Council. We've not seen this since 1999. What has the FCT been missing? Why the need for this representation? How can we go ahead and push for this and advocate for this? Are there capable hands to ensure it happens? Well, we have many questions, and to answer all of this question in the studio is Honorable Kamal Adamu Shuaib. He's the coordinator, Abuja Indigenous People of FCT. He's a former Secretary, Abaji Area Council, former Special Advisor to the Secretary of Agriculture and Rural Development Secretariat in the FCT. He's a politician and an APC chieftain, which makes it very important. It is government that's in power. How can he make sure that we see this indigenous representation we've been asking for? Honorable, thank you so much for being part of the program.
You're welcome.
Yes. We'll just go for a short break. When we return, we'll go deep into this conversation. How can we get the indigenous people the attention necessary so that the president will consider them for this ministerial appointment? We'll be right back after this. Welcome back from that short break. Like I said earlier, we have Honorable Kamal Adamu right here, Coordinator, Abuja Indigenous People of the FCT. So let's get to the crux of the matter. We've not seen that happen. I've heard a lot of people say the president, if he appoints an indigenous FCT member, would be doing what they have termed doing what nobody has done. Do you see that coming? I mean, for some of us who have been looking at them, they've called it fake ministerial lists. We've not seen that happen in those fake ministerial lists. Does it concern you that he might not have, this agitation might not have reached his table?
Good evening all. This is what we are calling democracy. And agitation takes you from one level to another level. And as you can all see and understand, this present administration, the present government, that is the president, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who is a grassrooted politician. And coincidentally, he's coming from a kind of environment we find ourselves in FCT, which is Lagos State. Lagos State was formerly a federal capital for Nigeria.
Exactly.
So there is nothing we will say that he does not understand what we are talking about. And God so kind, he was once a governor there. And up to now, part of his pedigree is what he has done as a governor there, having a second tier of government. As we are campaigning during the electionary period, we say it openly without reservation. Among all the candidates, we have no reservation. We told our people he knows it better than we do, because he is coming from the same environment we are finding ourselves now. So having solution to our problem, I think is a done deal. Right. Because after that, and after all, he's a grassroots politician. Is one of the people that came from the grassroots, so he knows the politics and the politicking. And complimenting him, the vice president, we knew the promises they made, and these are people who honor, who respect individuals, and they took oath in the office that they would treat all Nigerians equally. So we are talking about justice and fair play. What does it take us to be part of the FEC? And we are Nigerians that made the highest sacrifice of the land. I think I so much trust them, and I so much believe that definitely one of us will be there to represent us. You
are a chieftain of the APC, so I would like to ask, prior to the elections, during campaigns, I know that that's a period where a lot of people say things that they might not necessarily mean. Did the FCT people put this in the front burner for the president at the time he was a candidate to consider?
Yes, it's part of our major issues, and we don't hide it. And the good thing about it, they've agreed that even they themselves, when they came to FCT, the former minister seated, and our chiefs and emirs seated, and they opened up and said, look, this is our direction. We are taking one of you to FEC. And for that is something, it's just an open secret. Right. We know one of us is already there, by God's grace. For the first time, somebody at that caliber looking into us and giving us condition. And we thank God we are able to meet up. And we have no reservation they will keep to their words. I don't think it's just a mere political statement. I don't think so. Because by now they must have seen, and they want to write their names through in gold. Let all Nigerians feel the input that we are all Nigerians. That's all. What does it take for us to be part of FEC? Is there anything they are sharing there, or they are doing that they don't want any of our persons to be part of it?
To be part of it. You're right. However, like I said earlier, it is sometimes you might be overtaken by events. The pressure or the lobbying has been very rife. You and I know that some of our politicians haven't been sleeping. Others have been walking the halls of Aso Villa, all in the bid to be considered for this appointment. Would you say that the FCT people just are holding on to this promise that the president had given before the elections, or they are concerted efforts to send this message across?
You see, in politics and politicking, you don't relent. The most important is give and take. And there was a judgment that the other opposition went to court, that if you don't have 25% in FCT, you shouldn't be eligible to be the president. And coincidentally, interpretation came that FCT is as good as a state.
Should be considered. That is even in the 1999 constitution.
That is a very opening and sincere one. If that is not being worked as you must get 25%, then automatically I think there is even logic in it. It's a fair play where we should also be represented in effect.
Just like every other state in the country.
Yes, that is it. We're heading towards somewhere, because we can't continue like this. There is seriously lacuna, but it needs to be managed politically. And that is why we believe in Mr. President. Coming from that kind of cycle and that kind of situation we found ourselves. Because Lagos was like this before Ikeja was separated and the federal government took their own. So the entire thing we are saying, he has gone through it. So we so much believe in him that he will never let us down. And we take him for his words.
Okay, you say you believe in the president.
Yes.
And before the elections, he had made promises. Yeah. Honorable Kamal, I mean, you will have to admit that FCT didn't win in the FCT.
Yes.
Would that affect your chances of fulfilling the promises he made prior to the election?
You see, the beauty about it, there are states from the eastern part of the country that gave him about 4,000 in the entire state, what he got. We in FCT gave him 90,000. And is the entire southeast of Nigeria. I think what the entire 5 states, if you accumulate everything together, I think they are just higher than us with 35,000.
Right.
If the entire zone, I'm talking about entire zone, and we, the FCT, can get 90,000 votes for him, it shows we, the indigenous people, so much believe in him. What has smart us is people like you that came into FCT. If it's for the indigenous people, I bet you, it's good to go, because we understood who he is as a Democrat. So on that, it's just a very golden opportunity for us. He understood our plight and our pains, so he's somebody that can manage us better than any other person. If he can't manage us, I don't think we'll get it again.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then let's move to the dangers of not having an indigene lead the FCT. Over the years, would you say that those who have been given the opportunity to saddle this boat have not understood the true yearnings and issues and challenges that the FCT indigenes face?
To be honest with you, they decided not to, because it's very open. And why is it open? We are talking about all of us Nigerians. No Nigerian should be seen as a second-class citizen. That is the oath which every single president takes. So, and if that's the case, what does it stop you from allowing an FCT indigene to be part of the FEC? Is there anything special being discussed there that you don't want them to hear? A lot of ministers, let me give you an example. Our former minister that just left now, he has gone back to his state, Yola. If it's an FCT person, who ask him his stewardship, and you make him sit up. But where somebody is just being imposed on you, you don't have the right to go and ask him. And all his interest is his state. But once one of us is there, our interest is him. If we are not comfortable, we walk into his house and tell him this is our interest. And if we can do that, everybody will have that so much sense of belonging, because that is what the federal character says.
So I don't think you really hit what I would like to hear. Yeah. Honorable, what would you say has been the lacuna, those vacuum? Yeah. Apart from having that opportunity to make him sit up as a member of the community. What else would you say in development has the FCT really been lacking? Has there been policies you would like to see implemented that's not pushed forward? Yeah, there are a lot. Let me just give you just some few examples. You see, we have remote places. It's not just this FCC that is Abuja. Abuja is a vast land with remote places. If you go to places like Gorgoda, Tika axis, we need serious development. That's towards Kuje axis. If you go to places like Kawu, we need serious development. If you go to places like Gawu in Abaji axis, you will be baffled that how does these people live? If you go to places like Kilankwa in Kwali axis, you'll be like, are these people part of FCT? Ordinary Sheregal we here in Boari, just a good road to that place is a problem. If you go to places where you now see, is this place FCT or is a different state? That's when you now understand that we need our people, our own person, to be part of FEC, because that's the highest decision-making body that can bring development, infrastructure to our people. Predominantly, we are farmers. And this farm product, it got to a situation where you waste it. After cultivating, doing everything, there is no good road for you to bring it to the market. That is another thing. You can imagine calling satellite Abuja satellite town development. What do you mean by calling my own place where I am coming from? I'm coming from Abuja, and you are telling me that Abuja is a satellite town? Settling for who? That's where I belong. Even from some names, you'll be baffled. And all what causes this is just because your own person is not being represented there. Otherwise, he will tell them the right thing to be done. So once we are going in there for all Nigerians to be more comfortable in FCT,
all Nigerians, we are not saying we are not happy FCT being here. No, we are very happy and development is all over. But what we are saying will be much better if one of us is there. The agitation, the understanding, the psyche, everybody will understand. And I'm telling you, have more smooth things that will happen. But when some people are administering your affair, you know they will just do what they want to do. Let's take, for instance, now one of us should be a minister. After a stewardship, we will ask him, what have you done? Why is this place this, that? He has no another home, he still remain with us. But virtually most of them, after a while, they go back to their state. During festivity, they go to their state. Our last ministers, during electionary period, they went back to their states.
And so there was nobody
it was nobody to manage the leadership, if not because of the PCC, Presidential Campaign Committee, that did a wonderful job. They went from chiefdom to chiefdom to go and campaign and do so many things. So these are some of the issues that is making us fall back. But once we have a proper leader placed on us, because if we look at state, it's the same thing. Once the state governor is there, there is serious structure, and that state governor controls the structure. Now we don't have a minister to represent us, so that the minister will be seen automatically will be the leader. And once it's there, automatically everything will flourish naturally. And by mere getting that, we get to places.
I mean, you are a chieftain of the APC and has been for a very long time now, and the APC had the 8 years in governance.
Yeah.
What would you say you did differently to push the past administration to see this light? I mean, being part of them.
You see the beauty about democracy and opposition. We have been in opposition since from AC, ACN, APC, because that's my own history.
Right.
AC, APC, ACN, then APC we are today. I've never done PDP throughout my political career. I've never done PDP. You see, when I'm talking about somebody that knows grassroots politics, that's why I mentioned Mr. President's name, the present person. And once you are grounded from the grassroots, you understand the intrigues. What happened to us for the last 8 years? Of course, we're in governance, but there are a lot of things that we deserve to must have done to the nation. We were not privileged because of the setting and how the parties came together. But now that we have gotten our own person that started from the grassroots with us, that is why I'm saying proudly, boldly, that we're heading somewhere. And in Nigerians will see a lot of changes. He has started showing it, that he means well for the nation. So many things happen. They say Muslim ticket. Now he's balancing, everybody's keeping quiet. So it shows he knows he has a direction. And by now, all he's after is to write his name in gold. And by how can he do that? Is by balancing, giving everybody what is due to him. Let's move Nigeria better than where we made, because we have no other country more than this. So definitely that is why I'm telling you, for the last 8 years, the little that has been done has been done.
It has been done.
Yeah.
But what are you going to do?
Now that we have, you see, once there is change in leadership, there must be change in so many things. And unfortunately, we are meant to work on institutions. That is what Mr. President is doing now. He's working on institutions, not on individuals. If our institution can be strengthened, I am betting you, even if you are not there, those institutions work naturally. It's better you work on institutions that are working on personal individuals. And that is what the present administration is doing. So that is why I'm telling you, we have hope. And that hope will take us to where we are. And I don't think we'll have regret for voting Mr. President.
Okay, for voting Mr. President. Yeah. And you just mentioned how you seem very comfortable and very optimistic about his appointment.
Yes.
That he would look towards the FCT. Yeah. Now, would you say that if he does not comply with this, what will be next for the indigents of the FCT? Should he not maybe politics? You know, there are many pressures that happens and that is happening.
You see, the beauty about it, it was before we said this is what we want. When they came to us, they told us we are going to do this, and this is the person we are going with. Unlike the previous government.
Oh, really?
Yes, unlike the previous government. This is the government that were able to identify we are moving with so person. So if they can identify from the basis that it's not an open thing, it has been closed for those people that know what happened. Because in politics and politicking, so many things happen. If you are privileged to be there, you understand. But it's not meant for general public at times until when the time comes. That's when you now understand what really happened.
Right.
So it's a direction. We've gotten a direction from them. This is what we want. Do this for us. And honestly speaking, we have done our little best. And they even applaud us for even be able to, because we've never gotten votes like this since we started this thing on the other side. But now we're able to get this kind of vote. They now knew what the best we have put in. And with having a leadership coming from one of us, I bet you will get to better places. They are talking about 25%. I think we'll be looking forward for 65-70% from FCT.
70% from
from FCT. Yes, vote. Because all we are agitating for is for one of us to be there. And once one of us is to be there, infrastructural problem, unemployment of our people, our rights and whatsoever, it will come naturally.
But what often happens for the many other administrations and that handled it?
Yes,
is it that the chieftains in the FCT, stakeholders within the FCT, indigenes of the FCT did not have that communication with the heads?
Some people have a myopic mindset that when FCT people get here, will not be comfortable. Are you understanding it? So unfortunately, a lot of Nigerians that comes into FCT, they don't want to hear there are people that owns FCT. A lot, they have it at the back of their minds. But in reality, the way FCT here, we can't manage it. The indigenous people cannot manage it alone. The sewer line, you need to go to engineering work. You understand what I'm saying? The city is so big and large that can accommodate the entire nation here. So on this note, I don't see anything. Nobody should get jittered. And nobody will be sacked because an FCT person is there. No, we need people even more capable hands, because we always look for the best out of the best. And the administration we are talking about now is not man, no man, no. We need the best people so that the city will be the best city in the world. That is our dream with the indigenous people. We feel happy anytime they say it's one of the best city in the world. Because it's not a small privilege for you to belong to a place where everybody wants to come. It's not a small privilege. A lot of people all over Nigeria, they wish they are part of us here.
Yeah, that's true. But has that really helped the indigenous people? Because it seems like
let me tell you something.
They're being relegated further when others come into the cities.
Well, it depends on the angle you are looking at it. You see, education exposes everybody. And that education that all of us are, where our children are going to school, you understand, they are learning. Everything education will have it closer to us than before. And once you've gotten education, I bet you get to places. It's just a question of time. If I can give you an example, somebody like our former president, Bill Jonathan, came from minority to be Mr. President. Exactly. If not because of education, you think he will?
Of course not.
That is the beauty about. So I am assuring you, one day an indigenous person will be CNC of the Republic of Nigeria, with education and the way and manner civilization is coming to us, and we're accepting it. It's just unfortunate. Most of our culture, our ancestral heritage, were being touched. Those are the bad aspects of it that we don't like discussing it, because we easily get emotional once we discuss it, because nobody would like his own ancestral home to be destroyed, because it's part of his history and his culture.
Exactly.
That is just the disadvantage. In where there is advantage, they must have disadvantage. That is just the situation.
Okay, so I think it's a good time to go for a short break right now. We're still discussing the FCT and President Bola Tinubu's cabinet list that Nigerians are anticipating. We'll be right back after this short break. This is Joy Asonye Live.
While wrapping up the day, unwind with the reminiscence of the day's news from home and abroad with KAFTAN TV 7 p.m. News.
Good to have you join us on KAFTAN News at 7.
Nigerians are living in Africa. 5% are young people. We purpose the Harmony Symphony.
It's good to have you join us on KAFTAN TV News at 7.
We found that the 10 naira card is not actually sufficient.
National, foreign news headlines. Get balanced, accurate facts on the latest news in business, politics, entertainment, sports, and more. Live from our studios.
Many thanks for watching. Join us again at 9
KAFTAN TV News.
Yes, there is news on your device, but hearing an analyst's perspective is the icing on the cake that Daybreak Africa provides. Start your day with prompt analysis of the latest news, trends,
And then you see these people, they're so agile, they can do it.
politics,
We have to go back to that regional system. That is the foundation of this country, for God's sake.
entertainment, fashion, culinary skills,
So first I'm going to be pouring the oil inside because I will
religious and cultural events amongst others on Daybreak Africa. For a rich mix of analysis on current issues, tune in daily from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on channel 480 and 124 on Startimes. Yes, there is news on your device, but hearing an analyst's perspective is the icing on the cake that Daybreak Africa provides. Start your day with prompt analysis of the latest news, trends,
And then you see these people, they're so agile, they can do it.
politics,
We have to go back to that regional system. That is the foundation of this country, for God's sake.
entertainment, fashion, culinary skills,
So first I'm going to be pouring the oil inside because I will
religious and cultural events amongst others on Daybreak Africa. For a rich mix of analysis on current issues, tune in daily from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on channel 480 and 124 on Startimes.
While wrapping up the day, unwind with the reminiscence of the day's news from home and abroad with KAFTAN TV 7 p.m. News.
Good to have you join us on KAFTAN News at 7.
Nigerians are living in Africa. 5% are young people. We purpose the Harmony Symphony.
It's good to have you join us on KAFTAN TV News at 7.
We found that the 10 naira card is not actually sufficient.
National, foreign news headlines. Get balanced, accurate facts on the latest news in business, politics, entertainment, sports, and more. Live from our studios.
Many thanks for watching. Join us again at 9
KAFTAN
p.m.
TV News.
Welcome back from that break. Well, we are going to open phone lines now. Remember, we are discussing the FCT agitation for an indigene to be nominated as minister. If you will recall, a Court of Appeal judgment on January 15th, 2018, in favor of the natives on the need for a ministerial appointment and the legal status of FCT Abuja to be a state by the provisions of the law are indeed entitled to a ministerial representation in FEC as provided by the Constitution, the 1999 Constitution. The court also declared that the persistent denial and refusal of past precedent to appoint an indigene of the FCT Abuja as minister since May 1999 was tantamount to a gross violation of the state constitutional rights against discrimination. That's what we'll be discussing. We'll be discussing all of this with Honorable Kamal Adamu Shuaib. He's the coordinator of Abuja Indigenous People of the FCT. I had mentioned earlier the many portfolios that he carries. But again, I'm happy he's here with us. He's a politician and an APC chieftain. Now, let's get to the qualification of those who might be considered as FCT minister. Are there those that the indigenous people of the FCT have sent names or put forward with the pedigree that the FCT desires? I mean, I know you said you will not let the cat out of the bag, but please just give us water our mouth a bit.
The beauty about it, we have people that are overqualified to be ministers in the FCT. We have professors, we have doctors, we have politicians that have been 2 times this, 2 times that, 3 times this, 3 times that. So they hold sensitive position. We have lecturers, we have so many, anything any state can be proud of to say they have. I think we have them in FCT. And we have the younger generation that are doing very well, politically and otherwise. So anywhere you touch it, definitely you will see the real thing that is there. So the beauty about it all is we have a direction from the party and leadership, and is that direction we feel comfortable with, because we believe in first word. A leader always say it, and when he says it, he works with it, and we are projecting that side so that all of us will always keep to our words. Because anywhere you give more openings, a lot of issues will come in, this, that, this. And honestly speaking, somebody should be there first. Let him start.
I agree.
While somebody starts, you know, it's open to everyone. Anybody can key in at appropriate time.
Honorable Kamal, were names sent?
Well, of course, we are comfortable with that.
Names were indeed sent to the president for consideration?
You see, even when you go to the rumor, names that are peddling, in those days, you hardly see any FCT person's name in it. But when you go contrary to what is happening now, you definitely see our name there.
Yeah, even the speculated list. Even the speculated list that...
so you see, it will not be, it will be unlike, undemocratic, and there is leadership in any organization, any party. It will be unfair on my side to come on air and be giving names. The person that can only give authentic name is Mr. President.
No, I just want to know. I was very specific.
Yeah, that is why I have to be reserved.
Right.
Yeah, as we have leaders, and any disciplined party person should know what the Constitution says.
Okay, Honorable Kamal, would you tell me if your name is in it?
No, my name is not.
Okay, I'm just trying to be mischievous. Now let's talk about the
we have greater people than myself, and
I'll be surprised.
Yeah, greater people than myself, and much better than myself. I so much believe in them, and they will do the job.
Okay.
We support. We will definitely help them once they're in the system, and will be part of the system. Yeah. Okay.
This court ruling since 2018, would you say that it would be a leverage sort of to hold this government? Again, hypothetically speaking, I know you sound very optimistic, but should it not go this way?
You see, in life, if you are optimistic about something, go for it, you get it. Just being persistent, you definitely get it.
Right.
That's life for you. This judgment has been there. We agitated. We went into protests. We did so many things. I led all those things. But we had a brick wall, because if you are dealing with a Democrat, grassroots Democrat, it's better you are dealing with just a politician. Somebody that understood what is there and understood the psyche of human beings is somebody that can manage you well. That's the beauty about politics. That is why there is tenure. If your time, you didn't do it, another person comes, he will do it.
He will do it, exactly.
So the most important is just the life that we need. Once we're alive, we'll get there. I don't have any reservation about that. And that is why I keep on telling you, it's just because of Mr. President pedigree that makes me say what I'm saying. The Vice President is a very unique person. His words are always his words. And he was in charge of FCT. So all these things I'm talking about, he knows what he's saying. So we in FCT, the indigenous people, most of this vote that you saw we give, it's the indigenous people, because we believe in this setting of these people, because we know we have a problem. And who understands your problem most is the most person you follow. And that is where we are. And that is why I'm saying what I'm saying. We so much trust them, and they will do the needful by God's grace.
Okay, let's go back to what the indigenous people are facing in the FCT. Yeah. You know, like you had said earlier, the FCT, Abuja and Lagos share that peculiarity of having hosted the seat of power. Yeah. Now, we also, as I don't know if you would agree that it's a disadvantage or an advantage, we've seen an influx of several visitors, and that has stretched the intended infrastructure of the FCT. Does it concern you as a chieftain of this?
It does. But the beauty about it, we have models we can study from them. FCT did not start here in Abuja. It has been in so many places. If we are serious and we have serious-minded people, when the former minister El-Rufai was here, you know, that is why his name refused to die. He's direct, he's focused, he's determined. Those are the kind of people that deserve to be in FCT. Right. Without sentimental any issue. Once what is right, he's convinced with it, he goes by, he does leadership. And I'm telling you, the situation we are talking about now is a situation that is temporary. And as time goes on, you see solution. As I came in here, I told you, the rate by which we are going, time will come, you don't need your car. You just go and enter your rate. And so be it, you drop you where you want to go. And life goes on. All those congestion will be done. And that is a good thing about this communication of a team. At times you don't need to go out with your phone, your everything. It's well taken care of. So it's a phase.
Exactly.
And we come and overcome it. It's happened in Lagos. And you can see the because of the structure they have, the continuation of their own plans, the people that succeed them.
Okay, we have a call at the moment. Let's just quickly pick this call and then continue the conversation. Hello, good evening. Okay, I think something happened. You can call the numbers on your screen so that we can have a conversation. Remember, when you call, turn down the volume of your TV set so we can hear you from here. It will be nice to hear your contributions. The numbers to call is on the screen, and I'm not sure who tried to call earlier, but please do us well to call again so we can hear your thoughts or opinions about the topic at hand. But you were talking about this stretched infrastructure.
Yeah, and all you just need is a committed administration. You see, if you go through Nyanya, Karu, Orozo, Karshi. From Karshi, there is a road linking you up to Apu. So the issue about you coming through AYA
is completely out.
It should be out.
We have yet another caller. Honorable, if you would just... Hello? Hello? Okay, I don't know why the network is playing with us this evening. Keep the call coming. The number is on the screen. When you call, remember to put your phone, or rather your television set, you turn down the volume of your television set. Okay, sorry I cut your thoughts there.
Yeah, and you see, there are a lot of infrastructure. Once there is expansion. A lot of development will come to all those places. Just for instance, the one I gave you now. The same thing happened from when you get to Rubochi to Gwargwada
Apologies. Hello.
Hello?
Good evening.
Hello?
We can hear you. Go ahead. Good evening. Your name and where you're calling us from.
Good evening. Good evening.
Yes, good evening.
Hello?
Please turn down the volume of your TV set so we can have a proper conversation. Good evening. Okay, I think it's the network this evening, but it would have been nice to hear your thoughts. The number is on the screen. Go ahead. You were talking about the stretched infrastructure. I hate that I keep cutting you
No,
off.
it's okay. You see, there are a lot of things that need to be done. And once they are done, and you have committed, when I mean committed, minister, with focus, I'm betting you, all these issue you are talking about, the infrastructure overstretched, it's not going to be like that. Because we need people. That's what I told you. If you have our own person there,
Right.
we'll tell him why he's so rude like this.
You might not even need to tell him,
Do you
as he
understand?
probably would already know.
Okay, you can just imagine the way I'm calling them. Because I have no another environment I know more than this. So as a politician, you go around, you understand what is there. So nobody need to come and lie to you. It's something that you grew up in the cycle. It's something that you know. So when you are applying it, it's something that you'll be proud of applying it, because that is about your people. And your people will assess you and they will be happy with you. So that is why we are just saying it. Try our own people too.
Okay,
Then
we
you
have
see the
yet
result.
another call. Okay, we've lost that call.
You lost that call.
So let's go to this. You were talking about the agriculture, and most concerning recently is the spate of crime around the FCT. Would you say that much is not being done to handle it? I had a conversation with somebody from Kwali who said kidnappings are happening. Unfortunately, the media is not reporting as much as it should, and we're having several criminal activities happen. But let's take this call. Hello, good evening. I can hear myself. Can you kindly put, okay, again, that call, we lost that call. But please, when you call, do us well to turn down the volume of your TV set so we can have a proper conversation. So I was talking about the insecurity that's gradually seeping into the FCT. It's always a peaceful and safe place.
You see, the beauty about the insecurity in some places is it requires more local management.
Right.
It's not all about having sophisticated weapons. No, it's all about networking. We have our traditional setting, 17 chiefdom. In all of them, we have our in each settlement, they must have a head. They used to call him Miangwa or something like that. Now, if all these people are well equipped, they are well informed, which they are informed, but all they need networking with the vigilantes. It used to be Abaji before. Just of a sudden, Abaji quietly. It's now Kwali Kuji. At the most Buhari. So what happened that we are not hearing Abaji? Commitment. Every day, every time you brainstorm, you make sure you get more information and you empower people with information. Once you can do that, all these things will be once upon a time. But a situation whereby there is no synergy between the vigilantes and the security, the former security.
Hello.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. How are you?
I'm very fine, thank you. Thank you so much for calling us. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
I'm Francis and I'm calling you from Liberty right now.
Wonderful.
Hello?
I can hear you clearly. What's your contribution to our conversation, Mr. Francis? Okay, I don't think it's the caller's fault. At this point, I think it's just the network that is unfriendly this evening. I'm not sure why, but keep the call coming. We probably will just have some that will go through. But you were okay.
I was telling you, and something like, let me give you an instance. At times, the infrastructure you're talking about, there are some villages that don't have access to communication. That means the max that they use in this communication doesn't reach that. I can give you an example, like in Abaji, still like read by access.
Apologies, we have yet another caller. Good evening. Hello, good evening. Okay.
You understand?
You mean in the FCT?
Yes.
In Abuja,
In Abuja.
there are some communities that do not have the network.
Yes, access to network.
Wow.
So when we say it, some people see it as mirage. It's not. That's what is happening.
I'm surprised. I'm
appalled. It shouldn't be. If you go to like Abuja access, there is a village called Rimba access. Once you get there, automatically you are out of
the network coverage.
You are out of network coverage. No service. None of this network works there. So, if your person is representing you, all these things is already in him. And these are the ways and manner you can manage security. That is how the information will come and you have more reinforcement. But unfortunately, they cannot.
Right.
Do you understand? So things like this, and we must empower our cultural, that means our traditional setting more, so that they now understand the new faces. They now hear more information because they have the farmers within them. The farmers can come and inform them. I've seen so people in so place. I hope, and I'm suspecting them. Then from there, the system will now work, and they will go and do the needful, so that we have relatively peace in FCT.
But with the influx of so many people, is it still that easy? Because in my community, if a new face comes in, it's easy to identify. This person is not part of us. But every day it seems like people are just thronging the FCT. Is it still easy to manage, like you just said?
Yeah. What makes it easy is synergization. Let's synergize and get the bad eggs out of us. Because one thing about bad eggs, they don't care who you are.
Exactly.
So definitely those people that are coming that we've agreed they are part of us, they're already part of us. There are some people now that can no longer go back to their state. FCT is their state and everything. They gave birth to the people here, and this is where they believe is their own place. They don't even know anything about their own place. People like that, they are part of us. We accept them fully.
True.
That they are part of us, because they have no any other place to claim to be their place is this place. What we are saying, we the people of FCT, if you can forfeit your state and be part of us, we are okay. But we can't have people, one person, claiming two advantages, FCT and his state. That is what we don't want. If you can forfeit your state, be part of us here in FCT, Abuja, we are okay. But how can
you mean in the ministerial level? Is that what you mean?
No, generally. You see,
because I'm enjoying the largesse that comes with living in the FCT.
As we are growing, we are going through global wall. What is happening in FCT here is going to expand to other states as time goes on. Because it's natural. What makes a place popular and acceptable is visitors. And most of the people that are coming into FCT are visitors. And some decided to be part of them.
Oh, we have another caller. Hello.
Hello.
Good evening.
Shit.
Okay, at this point, it's safe to say that the network is not friendly, so maybe we just avoid the calls. This last caller was so frustrated. He used the vulgar word.
Yes.
But at this point, we just avoid it. It seems like the network is not friendly to us. But I can see that a lot of people would like to contribute to what we are discussing right now. You were talking about the dual citizens, the citizenship.
Yes.
Are you saying this in terms of those who would be considered as ministers, or all
what FCT we are saying now,
visitors?
No, what we are saying now, for now, let's have an Aboriginal, someone from FCT. Let it represent us, because we are the people that are from here.
Right.
As time, even he representing us, not only us, the indigenous people. There are people from other states that have chosen to be part of us. He's going to also represent them.
Right.
Do you understand what I'm saying classically now? Because
course.
I said it 1 + 1 make it 2. So that you shouldn't go and replace somebody that's not from FCT. For us, will not be happy. What I am saying is, for now, as time goes on, what are we saying? The present Senate representing us, is she from FCT? She's not from FCT.
Even your House of Representatives.
Even if your House of representing us from Ahmad Buhari here is not from FCT. We are not saying anything. We accepted that is democracy. That's the beauty about it. If somebody elsewhere can come and represent it, why can't we also have our own as a fact? That is all what we are saying, so that we can balance it and everybody will have much sense of belonging. I can walk into her and tell her this is our problem, and she'll understand because she knows she's representing us. Do you understand? But if somebody like the ministers that you people always bring and you impose them on us.
Honorable Kamal, when you say you people always bring,
yes, the entire nation. The entire nation. Let me tell you the funniest aspect of it. They tell us that the National Assembly is our assembly. I have big reservation. National Assembly have never passed a bill for us with the indigenous people of FCT. As I'm talking to you now, the Speaker, the Senate President have given SAs in their offices. Nobody from FCT.
Is this because the FCT indigenes are not politically savvy or aware enough? I mean,
if they are not, somebody like me wouldn't have been saying it.
So what happens?
Do you understand? Because people come from their state with all their beliefs all about their state. For the Speaker to be a speaker today, he came from his state. His interest is his state and his people first. So telling him to come and take another burden somewhere, you are not being fair to him. But for him to see himself as a national figure now, he required to pick somebody from FCT because they keep telling us that is our National Assembly. In the state, you walk into your National Assembly because you are a member of that state. But in FCT, before you enter National Assembly, you must be who is who. You must be enlightened for you to have access to it. Is that the way we continue? That is why we need our own there too. So on this note, that is what we are saying. Everybody should have that sense of belonging. The sense of belonging that each Nigerian has, let's also have it. It's as simple as that. And I don't see the big deal in somebody allowing us have what we're supposed to have. That is why I'm saying now the grandfather of democracy, that is the president now.
The Jagaban himself. Recently he's been referred to as the Jagaban of West Africa.
Of West Africa, okay. Right. That is why I believe, and I keep on repeating it, that we have a serious breakthrough through him.
Okay. So, you've said it all, and you want equity, fairness, and justice, and all of that for the FCT indigents. Now, is there something us visitors who are enjoying being in the FCT? In fact, I personally have been in the FCT for over 15 years now. I think I deserve to be considered an indigene of the FCT.
No, we are not denying you the indigenization.
No, I'm just saying, just in case.
All what we are saying is forfeit that your indigenship of Cross River. Yes, you are welcome. But you can't have dual citizenship. Why I have single citizenship? That will not welcome you.
This is a case of bad beleo.
No, that's just the reality.
I mean, if you come to Cross River State and spend as much time as I have spent here, you are welcome to have dual citizenship.
No, let me tell you something. The beauty about it. You see, as Nigerians, until we kill that thing where they say your state, because in all the documentation, you will be seeing where your state you're coming from.
Exactly.
You understand that? It's part of your identity. So, Abuja too is part of my identity. The way Cross River is part of your identity. So how can you have Cross River, Abuja? Me, I don't have the right to claim Cross River and Abuja.
Travel to Cross River, stay in Cross River, enjoy Cross River.
Let me tell you the beauty about it. A lot of people, there was a campaign in the southeastern part of the country. Someone came out to be a governor. Immediately they say his grandfather just moved into that state. His grandfather, not his father. They disqualify him, that is not part of them. But me and you now, you have a permanent home, you build your own house. I am not dragging that with you. I'm comfortable with you. Your children go to the same school, my children go to the same school. So if there is anybody that is homely, is we.
The FCT. I agree with you so far.
So, and we always say it, we are still welcoming more visitors to come in. But visitors with good heart. We don't need criminals close to us, please.
Of course.
We need people with focus, people that will bring development, people that will make FCT be the best city in the world.
Right.
Our target is the world.
The world, not even Nigeria or Africa.
Not Africa, no, it's the world. So
Honorable Kamal Adamu Shuaib, I mean, we've had a wonderful conversation talking about the FCT and how the president should, at this moment, consider an indigene as minister. Thank you for being part of Joy Asonye Live.
Thank you very much, and we are grateful because it's not all the studio that will give room for us to be heard.
Oh, trust KAFTAN TV. We get to the heart of it.
I can sense the fairness and the appreciation of you being part of us On this note, we thank you people.
We thank you for giving a voice to the FCT people. We'll be discussing with Honorable Kamal Adamu Schweib. He is the coordinator Abuja Indigenous People of FCT, former Secretary Abaji Area Council, former Special Advisor to the Secretary of Agriculture and Rural Development Secretariat in the FCT. This is where we close the curtains on Joy Asonye Live. We'll be back tomorrow with so much more. So do have a wonderful evening.